What's up YouTube, it's your boy New Cybot, and this is my review of Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars for the Nintendo 3DS. Now to get this review kicking off, everybody out there with a 3DS know that the launch titles for the 3DS was lacking. Very below average, and I will say Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Shadow Wars is one of the best launch titles from Nintendo 3DS, if not one of the best launch title that the 3DS has to offer so far. So with that said, you may be pondering to yourself, well, what is this Ghost Recon Shadow Wars game all about? Well, basically it's not your original games in the Ghost Recon series. It's not a third-person shooter, it's not a first-person shooter. Basically, it's a turn-based RPG, which may turn some people away, but realize this, it's made by Ubisoft, so they do a good job with their games, and like I said, this game is a very good launch game for Nintendo 3DS itself. Okay, so with that said, you have 6 characters you can choose from throughout the game you can build up over the time while playing the Ghost Recon game. Now, depending on which characters you choose within that mission, those are the only characters you can build up by completing certain objectives within the game. You earn stars, and each character can be leveled up accordingly. Now, let's go over the characters. First, you start with like 2 or 3 characters, and you meet more characters throughout the campaign. Now, first we have Duke. Okay, people, so Duke is at level 11. And his primary weapon is an assault rifle. Now, when you first start out with him, you do not have a scope on top of your assault rifle. He shoots at close to mid-range. Now he's able to shoot from mid to far range with the assault rifle upgrade. His secondary weapon is his launcher, which launches missiles that can strike multiple enemies at once. Now, each person has a super meter. The more damage they do throughout the mission, they build up their super meter and able to do devastating damage with any weapon, either a primary weapon or a secondary weapon. Duke's secondary weapon filled up to the max, or when he has a super meter filled up, can strike a large area with multiple missiles. His primary attack with the super meter filled up can attack 2 times. So it's a turn-based RPG. He's able to attack and then attack again. Okay, now Hayes is my sniper. He's at the highest level out of all my characters, at level 13. Now, anybody that knows me inside these video games know I love sniping, so you know my sniper character is going to have the highest rank. He's at the highest rank right now. He has a kick-ass sniper rifle. His secondary weapon is grenades. Now, super attack with his sniper rifle pretty much takes out any enemy with 1 shot, and with the grenade super attack, it just does a high spread and more damage. Now, I'm going to go over the other stuff you guys are looking at, just in case you're wondering. He does extra 50% to damage towards turrets and tanks and stuff like that, and he can shoot through armor. Oops. The red and the orange and the yellow shows how much damage he do towards enemies depending on where he's at or where he's positioned at within the area of the battlefield. And the health is right here, 34 out of 34. Okay, so next up we have Saffron. Now, all Saffron has is this kick-ass pistol. That's it. She's a medic. She heals people and she drops medical gear down on the battlefield. So it's good to keep her out of harm's way. But at the same time, if she gets shots at, she retaliates with a devastating pistol that she has, which is pretty much takes away half of the enemy's health with 1 shot. Now, before a mission, I can even swap out a character's primary and secondary weapon and armor before I go into a mission at any given time by pressing Y on any character. Press Y and I can swap out Saffron's pistol for a shotgun-mounted weapon, or I can swap out light armor for medium armor. Now, with medium armor will cause my character or any character to move slower, but at the same time she takes more hit points. So next up is Richer, which is my gunner's class. Richer has a kick-ass, fully automatic machine gun doomsday weapon that he carries with his 2 hands, and the secondary weapon is grenades. Next up is Mint, which is kind of the rookie compared to everybody in the whole squad, and I think the youngest. Mint has a kick-ass assault rifle. Given that he's an engineer, he can set down a turret which does devastating damage versus the enemies and can return fire when fired upon. Speaking of returning fire, all of the characters can return fire depending on how far they are away from the enemy when they fired upon, except for the sniper's class. Now, last but not least is one of my kick-ass characters on my team, on my squad, which reminds me of one of my good friends on Xbox Live, Dark Shade, Banshee. Now, she's a kick-ass assassin, stealthy as hell, and will slice and dice anybody she come across without being seen. Okay, so my girl Banshee, she has a silenced machine gun, which she can fire while invisible without getting fired upon when she's not detected by enemies. In order for her to get detected, somebody got to get right next to her to make her be revealed, and all she got to do is move away to get back invisible. And then not only that, she has a very, very, very deadly knife. This nice knife is a one-hit kill. No matter what enemy you're facing, it's a one-hit kill. All you gotta do is get next to an enemy, slice, and that person's done. It's a one-hit kill. Her health is only at 29, which is okay. She's just deadly, and it's good to have her on the squad no matter what mission you're doing inside this game. So, given any mission, you can choose any difficulty you want. Based on the difficulty you choose, like I said before, it gives you more points towards your overall statistics of yourself in general. You can rank up to colonel, general, and stuff like that. For example, when you load up a game, it shows your rank. Right now I'm ranked 2nd lieutenant. My score is at 59. My next rank will be 70. So based on the difficulty I choose, I get more points to increase my score to 70 to rank up to probably even 3rd lieutenant or wherever comes next. At the top screen it shows your stats also. So as you can see, I'm 2nd lieutenant. When I'm loading up a game, it shows my points, 59, and shows my overall completion of the game, 17%. Now, speaking of 17%, I've been playing this game for over 5 hours so far, played all kind of single player missions and skirmish missions. And I will say I'm estimating that this game is around 15 hours to 20 hours long, just given the fact that I've been playing for a very long time and it's only at 17% complete. You can change the difficulty to spice things up a little bit, like I said before, for the 3rd time, and it actually gives a unique flavor to the game when you change the difficulty and when you play different ways. So back to the main menu, we have skirmish missions like I just mentioned, and you have training missions, battle missions, and challenge missions. These Silver Eagles mean that I beat it on veteran difficulty. I'm playing the campaign right now on just the lowest difficulty just for right now, just so I can play the game and enjoy it. Okay, so you also have the option to play a multiplayer mission, which means exactly what it is, multiplayer. But none of the launch titles from Nintendo 3DS so far has multiplayer compatibility 3DS versus 3DS, except for Street Fighter. The way this multiplayer mission work, or multiplayer on the Nintendo 3DS work for this in particular game, is that since it's turn-based, you take turns with the Nintendo 3DS. I do my turn, and I might be playing against my brother, and he do his turn, or whatever like that. I would rather have this option inside there, plus the option to play online or stream right next to somebody with their own 3DS. That would have been very cool. I don't see why they didn't add that feature inside this game itself. Now, options, I mean, there's no point in running through the options. The options are just simple. Music on and off, animation speed, fast or normal. Now, this game does have a story, but by all means, it's nowhere near compelling by all means. It's okay. This is one of those games where you don't care if the story is good or bad. You know, it's not one of those things where the game was great, but the story was, oh my god, it was garbage. It's not one of those games. It's one of those games where, okay, who cares if the story was good? Who cares if the story was bad? I mean, you have little cutscenes, you have people speaking, and I mean, it's kind of hard to follow a little bit unless you're really into it. But I mean, really, you're trying to get to the story. Now, before you start a mission, of course, you choose a difficulty, you get your little briefing and stuff, and you get a after briefing after you choose your characters sometimes. So I'm just gonna go with anybody and go with start. Sometimes you can choose all 6 characters, sometimes you only can choose 1, sometimes you can choose 4, sometimes you can choose, 3. It all depends on what mission you're doing.